Strawberry shortcake gender is a xenogender, gastrogender, food gender and aristogender associated with strawberry shortcake. This gender has multiple definitions. A gender that is only felt when eating strawberry shortcake, a gender that feels sweet, soft, spongy, and crummy, or a gender that involves the aesthetic of strawberry shortcake.
Marshmallow gender, or marsh gender, is a gastrogender that feels soft, fluffy, and a little bit sweet like a marshmallow. It may be similar to cotton candy gender, but it has a marshmallow-like texture and is less sweet and pastel. It can also be a gender related to marshmallows. Malawic or marshiac is a more well-known gender and a subset of marshmallow gender, meaning a xenogender related to marshmallows.
Spukandaic is a gender related to Halloween candy meant to replicate body parts such as chocolate eyeballs, gummy fingers, fake blood candy syrup, etc. Can be applied to anything. Examples are buspukandaic, prispukandaic, etc.
Panapashtin is a gender in the scene system that's like eating pastries in a beautiful bakery. It goes along with this imagery. You are in a beautiful vintage French bakery, the aromas fill your nose and you contemplate the desserts. At the same time that you enjoy a delicious dessert, the flavor is an elixir that makes you feel happiness and tranquility.
Saccharine gender is a non-binary gender which feels sickly sweet and very sugary. This is a xenogender and can also be used as an esthetogender. Saccharine gender is generally an androgynous gender, but can be feminine or masculine based off of other genders one might have.
Oreo gender is a xenogender identity and cookie gender in which one's gender is connected to Oreos. This gender may be described as crunchy and sweet.
Pandulcigender is a gastrogender encompassing all genders that feel sweet and happy. This could be genders connected to candy. This could be any candy, for example, cotton candy, as the primary flag shows.
Moonpieac is a gastrogender related to the aesthetic, flavor, and taste of a moon pie.
Marshmallow gender or marsh gender is a gastrogender that feels soft, fluffy, and a little bit sweet, like a marshmallow. It may be similar to cotton candy gender, but it has a marshmallow-like texture and is less sweet and pastel. It can also be a gender related to marshmallows. Malawic or marshiac is a more well-known gender and a subset of marshmallow gender, meaning a xenogender related to marshmallows. This can be texture and taste, but unlike marshmallow gender, it can be more connected to marshmallows as in shape and taste, not feeling or sweetness or fluffiness like marshmallow gender is.
Lime gender is a gender that is associated with limes and their bitterness yet tastefulness. It can also be a subset of green gender connected to the color lime. One who is lime gender might feel as though their gender is validated by the color lime, or as though their gender is best described as the color lime.
Gum gender is a xenogender and food gender relating to gum and bubblegum. This is a gender that often feels very present at times, very bland at times, and other times very intense. It might also feel extremely intense for a period of time, and then suddenly bland, not there at all. Like blowing and popping a bubble. The holder of the gender doesn't have to feel like this though, and despite its implied intense nature, it can also be a very calm gender identity.
Lea fluid is a multi-gender that is a part of the TL system, in which one has a gender or multiple genders that are connected to or affected by T in some way, and one's gender/genders is affected by multiple or all flavors/types of tea.
French toast pumpcake is a gastrogender related to pumpkin spice French toast, a sweet, warm, autumnal breakfast gender.
Hologender is a xenogender that is a part of the TL system, in which one has a gender that is connected to or affected by hot tea in some way. It could be a gender that is only felt when drinking hot tea, or a gender that fluctuates or changes when drinking hot tea.
Foodic or gender food is an umbrella term for all genders related to food or beverages, can also be used as a gender on its own. Most foodic genders are also gastrogenders and/or food genders. Food gender, also known as nutrients gender, is an umbrella term for genders that are validated or closely related to food, though one can also identify as food gender itself. Most genders under this umbrella don't use the typical terms one would use to describe gender like masculinity, femininity, androgyny, etc. They instead describe gender through the texture, feeling, taste, and/or look of food.
Cotton candy gender, also known as Xenogender, is a xenogender and food gender that is soft, fluffy, and pastel-colored. It may feel sweet, or possibly give off carnival vibes to some.
Firmly, a gender is a xenogender that is a part of the TL system, in which one has a gender that is connected to or affected by fermented and puer tea in some way. It could be a gender that is only felt when drinking fermented and puer tea, or a gender that fluctuates or changes when drinking fermented and puer tea.
Cookie gender is based off of cookies. One's gender may feel soft or crunchy, chocolatey, and gooey or other descriptor based on the cookie they identify with, snickerdoodle cookie gender, chocolate chip cookie gender, etc. It can also describe the nostalgia and or aesthetics of baking cookies. One can identify with cookie gender as a whole, or have a few specific cookies one identifies with. One can also feel as if their gender tastes like a cookie in its aesthetics. Those who identify as cookie gender may feel different to their cookies, but they overall feel sweet, chocolatey, and bright. Although one don't have to feel like that to identify as cookie gender. Similar genders include bakery choric and cake gender.
Double cookie gender is a xenogender identity and cookie gender in which one's gender is connected to double chocolate chip cookies. This gender may be described as warm, chocolatey, and or gooey.
Cola-gender is a xenogender related to soda that is cola-flavored, like Coca-Cola. One may feel that their gender feels like cola, tastes like it, or may just want to incorporate cola into their gender. It could also be an aesthetogender, relating to the aesthetic of cola. Cola-gender can be considered a gastrogender, but it doesn't have to. Cola-gender is not exclusive and can be used by neurodivergent and neurotypical people. Cola-gender can be felt along with other genders, binary or not.
Blueberry gender is a xenogender identity and fruit gender in which one's gender is connected to blueberries, or is a blueberry. This gender may feel blue and or sweet.
Berry gender or strawberry gender is an aesthetogender and or xenogender in which one feels that their gender is best described by, or relates to strawberries. It can be used as a modifier with other genders such as berry masculine, berry feminine, or berry non-binary. Cake gender is a gastrogender that is related to cake, which is soft and fluffy like cake. It can also be sweet or warm. Cake gender can also come in different flavors which could change how the gender feels. One could also feel as if one's gender tastes like cake. One who is cake gender may also feel their gender or flavors are layered, similar to a layered cake.
Cherry gender is a xenogender and gastrogender connected to cherries or as a cherry. It may feel red, sweet, and lukewarm. Bakery choric is a choric xenogender related to bakery core. It invokes imagery of bakeries, bread, confectionaries, and other fresh baked food.